welcome back to the channel. I'm George. This is the Broke Audi channel. I mean, Malaka MotorSports. Welcome back, guys. This is a huge update on various vehicles that we have here on the channel. My S4 that I'm currently sitting in. Please don't mind the mess. Please don't mind that it's not properly set up in terms of filming. I want it to be as raw as possible when we're going over the updates on these vehicles and what's going on and where they're at. The RS3 we'll talk about. I'll even show you some footage when we were supposed to debut her at Shift Sector's half mile these past couple weekends ago on the 26th of October. We'll get into that as the video progresses, and then Stav's B5. But what I wanted to do is show you where my B5 was at. Start her up now. Let's go for a drive. I have a camera on the cluster as well, and I want to show you exactly what she's doing and why it stopped us and why do I have to pull the trans. Essentially, I have slipping clutches, but I want to show you guys what it looks like, what it sounds like, especially carbon clutches on this car, on this setup, for those of you guys that are looking to do VR6 swaps. So without further ado, I'm gonna attempt to start her up. I started her up yesterday. She ran just fine. I'm gonna start her up. You know, with my luck, I'll try to start her up today and she won't start up, but I'm gonna try. Key's gonna be in. Pumps turn on. Ooh, a little rough. Remember, she's still on that big injector, guys, so, and not fully tuned. We jumped from, give her a little gas. We jumped up from 1400 cc's to 2400 cc injectors. As you see in one of our last videos, I'll put a link in the description. We had to hone out each little cylinder port, the injector port, to fit bigger injectors. Now, we didn't damage the sealing surface, and if you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. It's actually pretty cool. We thought we were gonna mess some stuff up, but we didn't. Luckily, we didn't hurt any of the casting. We didn't eat into anything we weren't supposed to, and all the injectors fit. So I'm gonna let her kind of kick up a little bit here. It sounds like she's missing a little bit too. Maybe she needs some new spark plugs. We're still on factory coil packs, but on complete Haltech Elite 2500 ECU. We made 754 wheel at the beginning of this year on stock coil packs with the NGK spark plugs. I think our gap's like around 20 or 19. I forgot, or maybe it might be even 21. But I'm gonna continue to try to run those factory coil packs. They're VW Passat. I mean, they're W8 coil packs. And I'll show you guys a picture and a part number here shortly. We'll open up the bay. So let's go for a little drive and I'll show you guys what she's doing. You guys can see, oof, running something over there. So, you hear that high engagement? All right, we're gonna cruise out of the neighborhood. I had pissed off a few of my neighbors with some of the cars. Ooh, it's happening already at such a low RPM. That's such a shame. We're gonna go over what's happening, but she still sounds pretty good. She still moves pretty good. I love this car. And this episode's gonna go over exactly what building a car, like some of the symptoms and some of the things that happen when building a car like this. Is that there's always this stigma of going one step forward, 7 steps back. And the reason for that is it's not because we're doing things that, you know, that other people have done and we're doing them wrong. There's a huge learning process in terms of our side of never having done a lot of this stuff, not using a lot of these components. Like, I've never had carbon clutches before. And I ended up picking them secondhand from Chris Green at USP Motorsports, who has the fastest B5 in the United States, 8-second car. I ended up picking his twin carbon clutch setup about a year or so ago for a really good deal. Thank you, Chris, if you're watching this. If you haven't, check out USP Motorsports. Got some really cool stuff over there. We got some parts for the RS3 we're gonna be testing for them. But what I didn't know about carbon clutches, and I'll put some links of videos of things that I found on YouTube, is that they need to be shimmed and gapped every like 4,000 or 5,000 miles. It's a race clutch. A lot of these guys are not driving daily with these clutches. These cars are race cars. And me, the idiot, I put a twin carbon clutch in a car that I drove to work all the time, even VR6. I think I have the most miles out of anyone that's done a VR6 swap in terms of actually driving it, enjoying the car, driving to work. I mean, getting stuck in LA traffic we drove this car all the way up to 034 Motorsports' Summerfest a couple months ago, and that was like a 6 or 7 hour straight drive just one way. You know, no one's really put real miles on this stuff, and we're really the only ones that put this stuff to the test. I mean, truly, driving the car every day, beating the crap out of it, launching it. I could say that. I think confidently, without sounding too pompous, that I'm one of the very few, if not the most abusive person on a VR6 swap that doesn't own a professional shop and drives the car everywhere. But I wanted to show you guys real quick what this car does. So we were street tuning about a week before we were supposed to hit the dyno, and we were throwing some boost at it, seeing how healthy the motor was. Again, making sure, you know, going to the dyno, it's not super expensive, but it's a few $100s. Plus you're paying a tuner for his time. So that's, you know, whatever the tuner's charging on top of that. So it could be, you know, a very expensive day, and you just want to make sure you're fully prepared. So I took the vehicle to Joe. He baselined the car at his shop in terms of getting the injectors firing the way they're supposed to, you know, shooting at the right duty cycle. And then we went street logging, and during a high boost pull, this started happening. Did you hear that? I'm going to show you some footage on the actual dash, all right? And don't mind the mile an hour. The mile an hour isn't calibrated yet, so it's jumping, you know, 20, 30, 40, whatever it is. But look at the RPM. The RPM is on point. And as soon as you give it some throttle and you get into a little bit of boost, she just starts slipping. And again, I have now 9,000, 8,000 miles now on this carbon clutch since I've gotten it, and it was sold to me rebuilt. Carbon clutches are not for everyday driving, I learned. They're not for stop and go. They're not for driving to work. They are for race cars. So if you are planning to drive this thing daily on a twin carbon or a triple carbon clutch, just know that don't get stuck in LA traffic with it. Don't drive to work with it all the time. If you want to do like a weekend vehicle, maybe, but they designed the clutch primarily for racing, for the track, and rightfully so. It's an amazing clutch. And here's one of the reasons why I love daily driving. And I found it on one of the super forums that someone said the same thing. I love driving on the twin carbon because it feels like a stock clutch. It engages like a stock clutch, and that's exactly what this thing does. The pedal is smooth. It doesn't feel like I'm fighting the clutch pedal. I could be stuck in traffic for 7 hours, which one time I was, about 3 hours with this car. And I felt like I was driving a stock 2.7 S4 in terms of engagement of the actual clutch. And it's a clutch that can hold 14, 13, 1,200 foot-pounds. You don't really get that with all of the clutches. So what I have to realize is am I gonna have to swap out to another style clutch and not carbon and have to deal with the driving characteristics? Or am I, close this window up a little bit, or am I gonna have to just live with the fact that every 4,000 or 5,000 miles, or maybe less, am I gonna have to remove these and shim these if the clutches aren't damaged? Now, even me driving around and slipping these clutches now for you, I'm probably damaging them a little bit, but I wanted to show you guys what it looks like and why the car has been down for the last 2 or 3 weeks and why we haven't really posted videos. And then we'll go on to the RS3 and I'll explain what happened with the RS3. I mean, the RS3, oof, I won't even get into it while I'm still in the S4. I don't want to piss off the S4, but I can never get, oh, that sound is, it starts slipping. Hear that? Starts slipping. Even in the low, like 2000, she just starts slipping. But I'll get you some footage of the actual dash and show you guys how the RPMs just jump. Man, that sucks. I was really excited about getting this car in the dyno. I wanted to make more power. This is the car that I wanted to debut at Shift Sector. I wanted to go on the half mile and break 180, 190 in this car. We know it's possible. The motor, it should hold, you know, the power. knock on wood. So I was really excited about getting this to the half mile. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And this literally happened 5 days before, the week before. And Stoff's car is completely apart in my garage. So I couldn't get my car in there, drop the trans, send the clutch out, or even just buy a new clutch. And by the way, buying a new clutch it's on the expensive side. The carbon clutch that I got, again, I mentioned before, I bought secondhand from Chris Green. There's a reason why I bought it secondhand. Because at the time the clutch was like $4 or $5 grand, and now I think they sell them for like 2,900 bucks, which is still crazy. And I don't think it's unreasonable, especially for what the performance of the clutch and what you're getting. I'm just saying it's crazy because it breaks the barriers of my budget in terms of what I can do with the clutch. So I don't know if I have to look at a more, I don't know, maybe another alloy, maybe cerametallic. I'm not sure. You know, I don't think I want to be dropping the trans every 5,000 miles as I drive the car a lot. Or maybe I shouldn't drive the car as much, go take it out racing, prove that the setup works, and then throw in a standard clutch that I won't be able to make as much power on, but it'll hold up to the abuse of everyday driving. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think? I mean, I need some advice here as, I don't know, can I have the best of both worlds? What is the best of both worlds clutch for a car that is looking to make 800-900 wheel torque, 1,000 wheel horsepower? Supras, any Toyota Supra guys watching this, what the hell are you guys running? And are you guys driving these cars all the time? And if you're not, why? Don't you guys love your cars? I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure some things out with this car and see what I want to do and see what the path is. I don't know. I love driving this car and I love pissing the shit off of people on the freeway, and I want to get some footage of you guys having the car take out some pretty big supercars, and that's the goal. And I won't be able to do that just at the track. May have to visit Mexico a little bit, so we'll see. Again, let me know in the comments below. But on to the RS3, guys. On to the RS3. The RS3, Jesus. I'm gonna show you guys some footage here. Check this out. Here's some half-mile footage of us racing. Races before we had an issue, but essentially on the last run, and I was racing Kyle, a good friend of ours, family friend, who also has a now built RS3 bottom end hybrid car, and my car is now fully built, bottom end, top end. We ended up doing clutches with Irish Motorsport, and instead of including footage at his shop talking about it, we went over some built motor stuff like a couple months ago, but what we wanted to do was debut and showcase the car at Shift Sector. That's what we wanted to do, instead of at his shop. We didn't want to bother number one Hank as much as we used to, going always to his shop. And then usually at the racing track is where the videos should be, right? A lot of people like doing things at the shop, and that's great. It's worked out for us as well before, but really showcasing the car, talking about it, and you guys actually seeing it racing is what we think a video should be in terms of debuting a car, especially something that's been freshly built, especially a high performance car. So we took the car on Cyvex. I drove it from Vegas to California, and then from California to Coalinga, California. I drove it there, didn't trailer it. You guys would be proud of me. We did some racing on the third run. Motor started making some really tapping, crazy noises up top. Pull over. I didn't get any footage, guys. I'm sorry about that. It was a real emotional day. Cleo, my pit bull, my blue nose pit bull, got attacked by another owner's dog that wasn't on a leash. So that kind of sucked too. So it was a rough day. So on top of the car going down, before racing even started, Cleo got attacked. She got a 1.5-inch gash on the bottom of her ear, ripped open, and the poor girl didn't even know. She didn't even know she was like being attacked. She was like happy, wagging her tail. I called every local vet. The closest thing was like 2.5, 3 hours, and even they were like closing and didn't have time to take anything on. So, and I want to go over this product too, and I'll do it as soon as we get in the garage. On that note, I'm gonna show you guys something. This is what saved, I think, Cleo's life, and it was really badass to have too. And I think everyone should have this, especially if you're into racing or you're going on trips with your family. It's small, compact, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm about to show you. All right, so like I was saying, inside the car, if it weren't for this product, we probably would have had to leave shift sector, and I don't know what would have happened with Cleo. I ended up 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, maybe even 3, a coworker of mine started a company called SQUADRON. I'll include his link. His name is John in the description. And what that is, it's an aviation-inspired company that develops first aid kits and medical supplies now for racers. Primarily what John does a lot of, he works with a lot of the guys that do off-roading and dune buggy racing. And if I'm not saying things wrong and the nomenclature is incorrect, I mean, no disrespect, but I'm going to screenshot some of the things from his Instagram and show you guys what he does. He developed this first aid kit, launched it, had the balls to start his own company. The first thing I did was reach out, and I bought one of his kits to support him. And I want to showcase this. I had it in the truck randomly. I brought it with me. I was like, I took it last minute. I said, maybe something might happen. You never know. Left it in the back of the truck. Cleo, unfortunately, was on a leash, as we always have Cleo on a leash. You know, in California, it's a state law. Got to have a dog on a leash. Walking around shift sector, and another dog took like a big chunk out of her left bottom ear, like disconnected the bottom of her skin on her skull to the bottom of that earlobe. And I'll show you guys some screenshots. So it was a pretty rough day. Racing hasn't even get started. The B5 wasn't ready. The RS3 was there, but we were still tuning it. And it was a brand new setup, so anything could have happened. And it was already starting out pretty rough. Luckily, we were able to get some super glue, and then we were able to get the first aid kit, which I'm about to show you. And I'm sorry, guys, for the mess, but this is John's kit. Calls it the Wingman First Aid Kit, and it comes with a really nice mounting bracket. It even has built-in lightning holes. Again, like I said, aviation, aerospace inspired. It's really, really cool. I didn't get a chance to install this anywhere on the truck or any one of the cars, right? But it comes in a really snazzy, really nice, simple case. But there's quality there. The welds are really, really high quality. And it looked like John really put a lot of time into this. Now, this is a little messy because I opened it up and I used it, but I'm going to open it up just to show you what kind of things are in there. Man, and it gives you the contents, and it goes over in details what you need. It has antiseptic, it has gloves, wraps, it has, check this out, if you ever need it, it has combat tourniquet. Obviously, if something happens, you're not going to be in combat and racing. Actually, it'd be pretty cool, but if something happens, God forbid, on the track, you need to apply tourniquet. It comes with a tourniquet kit. It comes with wraps. And John actually just recently hit me up and provided me with some refills for this. So this way I'm all up to date on what I use and whatnot. But again, not to kill his first aid kit in terms of me not knowing exactly all the contents of this. I want you guys to check out John's company, SQUADRON. I'll put a link in the description. And if you guys are racing, if you guys are an event, I mean, I used it for my dog. I'll show you guys some pictures of Cleo wrapped up with this. It could happen to anybody. And it's good to have a first aid kit. It's good to think of safety in terms of having things ready, especially in an area. I mean, we were in Coalinga. Animal hospitals were like 2 hours away. Nothing was open. So there's nothing really I can do other than using this kit. So John, I just want to say thank you very much. I ended up using it. And I'll probably be buying a couple more, especially since we're going to start kicking up racing again this coming spring in 2020. So just wanted to share that with you guys. He didn't sponsor the channel. There's no free parts or anything here. It's just giving a shout out to a solid company, giving a shout out to a really badass kit that we ended up using and proving that it was worth it. That you should have something like this. And luckily, you know, I didn't have to use it on a human being that was badly injured. Luckily, there was no one badly injured at the event. But I had a dog there, and it got attacked, and there was nothing we could do. We ended up using it. So wound clean, all that stuff. Please give Desert Squadron a shout out. Support them. Pick up a kit. It's awesome to have with you on your truck, on your race car, on your off-road vehicle. It's a badass little kit. Anyway, to continue on, that's about it with the RS3. The RS3, I'll show you a short clip. We were trying to get it shipped for the last 3 weeks since October 26 to Vegas. As you guys know, SEMA was coming up, and SEMA just passed. And it's hard to get transport to Vegas, especially with everyone booked for SEMA. And I couldn't find the time to trailer it over there with the truck. So we actually had two people flake out on us in terms of shipping the car there. And it's really close by. It's only 5 hours away, but I just couldn't get time recently to take the car there. So luckily, Anthony from Pick Pros reached out. If you guys haven't heard of Pick Pros, again, he doesn't sponsor the channel, but he does a lot of cool things in Vegas for people that want to make money on the side. So Anthony reached out to Stav, and Stav set it up with Anthony's shipper to come grab the car. So I had a really cool, badass shipper that I probably would normally not be able to afford, and he came pick this thing up with this huge, like 50-foot trailer, whatever it was, and he had a McLaren in there and some classic cars. I'll show you guys some screenshots real quick, but the car was picked up end of last week. It has now been in Vegas for about a week. Hopefully it's just something in the head. Hank thinks it's a rocker arm. It's something bouncing around underneath the valve cover, and we didn't want to start taking the car apart. And we don't normally deal with the RS3 here. As you know, we deal with broken B5s. There's a lot of specialized tooling, electronics, and I don't have a lift in my home garage. Not yet. I'm still looking for us to be able to do that kind of work on the RS3. And that's eventually what I want for us to do, is be able to work on cars like the RS3, have the equipment available, so we don't have to burden Hank and hit up Hank. Hey, listen, I need something really, really small, but I don't have a lift and I can't drop the trans. So for those of you guys that are asking, there are some people that do this stuff at home, but it just sucks. And with the B5 stuff already on jack stands, even with a scissor lift that comes underneath, we need to be able to drop the motor and trans together, or maybe just the trans. So I'm thinking about doing maybe a half post lift. I was looking at some of those guys, ones that don't go up too high, and then maybe have it here where I have enough clearance on the roof. So anyway, that's another story for another time, but I am actively looking for a lift to see if we can make this garage a little bit more accessible to some of the work that we have, or some of the work that we need to do, more or less. And that's it, guys. That's pretty much it. And then I got Stav's car here that I'm trying to motivate him to get things going, and we're pretty close. I'm sorry for the mess, guys. His stuff is pretty much everywhere. We got his motor here. We got to finish assembling it. That's his stock block motor that we had in there that he's been driving this whole time. We took that out. Actually, things look really good on the motor crank. Everything else looks good, so we're going to keep that as a spare motor. But his built motor is coming together. As you can see, MMS FETA that I did with the paint pen in there. But just keep in mind, guys, that we are actively working. I know we haven't put out a video, but this is pretty much where we're at with Stav's car. So part 5 is coming. We're going to be working on this week. I wanted to kick out this video with some racing footage of the RS3, driving footage of the S4, and see why I'm going to have to pull the trans on, and why am I having clutch issues with the S4. So you guys got a chance to see that. And this week we'll be putting together this Red Devil and getting this thing running, and then out, and then my silver B5 in, so we can drop the trans, pull the clutches, and figure out what we're gonna do. Again, guys, I'm gonna need a lot of suggestions, as I know a lot of the people that watch our channel are actually people that go out racing, or people that work on these cars all the time. Other than the carbon clutches, what clutch that is durable for the power that I'm looking to put down. Again, we're already at almost 750 wheel, 754 wheel now. We're looking to make that wheel torque, and then 900 wheel horsepower. So put your suggestions in the comments below, guys. Let me know what you think, what route I should go with. With Stav. Stav actually has a huge choice too. Should he go with the single disc spec, or he should go upgraded twin on his flywheel as well? And that's something that we're trying to decide too before putting together his car. And again, we'll get into details on Stav's build on his part 5. We're about, I I'd say about halfway there, and you'll see some of the challenges that came up with Stav's build and some of the things he had to deal with, and why it's been 3 or 4 weeks since we put out a video, especially with an update with Stav's car. So you'll see that, and now will come more in detail. But other than that, guys, this is an update video. We're kicking off more content on our channel. I mean, we never left, but technically we're back, and we're gonna kick off more videos this coming week. I don't know what else. Oh, we got new stickers. Check this out. Go over some stuff with you guys. So for those of you guys asking for, I love my B5 stickers. And then we also redesigned with a client of ours out in the UK who changed up the color scheme a little bit. So it's Malaka RS Sports. As you can see, it's all built into the logo, but we're going to be offering these on the website here within the next couple of days. I'll probably get a chance to throw them on tonight. So for those of you guys that are wanting decals, your emails did not go on deaf ears, your private messages. I know you guys have been tagging us and messaging us and asking us for this stuff. It's going to be super affordable on the website. We're not looking to make money with it. So whatever it costs us is what it's going to cost you minus shipping. So the cost of that with shipping to us, I think it was like $2 or $3 a sticker, maybe even less. So we'll have a price on the website. And again, what we pay is what you pay. I'm not looking to make money on a sticker. If you guys want the decals to throw them in your car, all I ask is you pay the cost and the shipping to your door. That's it, guys. That's it. I'm George. This is Malaka Motorsports, and get ready for some shit. We're gonna have a lot of videos coming up. I got some updates for the RS3 when we go visit it at Iris Motorsports in the next coming week. Actually make that 2 weeks, probably 2-3 weeks. And then the B5 stuff, my clutches, Stav's build. So we got some exciting stuff coming, guys, and we hope you guys like what you guys are seeing, and hopefully we've earned your subscription and your like. And if you haven't done so already, please do so, as it helps supports the channel. It lets YouTube know that you like FETA, that you guys like olive oil, that you guys like us, and you want to keep seeing our stuff. Hit that bell too. Every time we put up a new video, you guys want to be notified and see what's going on, see what we messed up next, see what we've broken. It's some pretty funny stuff. As usual, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate the support. Thank you for the 13K followers on Instagram. We cracked. I think we jumped like 5K in the past 2 months. That was amazing. So we appreciate that. And I think we're just damn near close to 20K now on YouTube, which is pretty awesome. So proud, so humble. Thank you guys for that as well. And we got a giveaway coming up. So next episode, we'll announce our giveaway and when we're doing it. And all you got to do is be subscribed. You got to be able to watch our stuff to see when we announce the winner. But we got some cool stuff coming on, guys. As always, we love the rest of you guys, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Thank you.